Excitement about the football, but controversy about the location and FIFA. We'll have the footballer Chloe Morgan here at the news desk with me for the whole show. But we'll be talking also about what's going on in the health service. The Health Secretary, Steve Barclay, is here, and we'll be questioning him on what the government's plans for public services and tax rises will really mean for all of us. And as you guys have been hearing, we've been talking to one of the head engineers at NASA about the amazing launch of the Artemis 1 this week. So, some happy news, some excitement among all the political doom and gloom. Hope to see you at 9 on BBC One.
Laura, thank you very much.
8:32, time for some sport now. And of course, the one big sport story in town today is the start of the Men's Football World Cup. John Watson is in Doha for us this morning. And John, the one big, from a football point of view, big story we haven't really talked about is Benzema out for France. That's a huge blow, isn't it?
I know, this is it, isn't it? And I guess, you know, in the lead up to this tournament, we're going to be focusing so much on the players and the teams and some of those injuries potentially. And we were obviously looking at that, weren't we? When the Premier League kind of reached its conclusion, and was Harry Kane going to escape injury-free? And certainly for Gareth Bale as well, for Wales, he's been playing out in the United States at the moment. Was he going to arrive at this tournament fit? But for France, the holders, that is a huge injury. Karim Benzema ruled out of this tournament, alongside, let's not forget, Paul Pogba as well, who was ruled out in the lead-up to this tournament as well. And he was really instrumental, wasn't he, in that France team last time out as they lifted the World Cup. But as far as England and Wales are concerned at the moment, so far no major injury concerns for them at the moment. So much to talk about on the day that this World Cup finally kicks off, doesn't it? We've spoken so much in the build-up about some of those issues, but today football will certainly be put centre stage when the hosts Qatar take on Ecuador, kick off in that one 4 o'clock UK time. I'm joined this morning on breakfast by Jermaine Jenas. You're out here as part of the BBC's team. Jermaine, what have you made of it all? What have your first impressions of Doha and Qatar been like?
Well, I think in terms of like getting out here and kind of like touching down and getting a feel for our surroundings, you know, I've had no complaints. You know, it feels like there's a World Cup here. And I think everybody's just really looking forward to the football starting now. We've all had the kind of talks about the issues around the World Cup and should it be here, should it not be here? And I think today is going to be one of those days, you know, once kick-off comes and that first ball's kicked, that we'll start talking and having the conversation about who's going to win it and how's it all going.
And that's the thing, isn't it? You know, there's so much passion, so much excitement in play. But, you know, those issues do present challenges, don't they, I suppose? And obviously that's, you know, something that you'll be aware of in the coverage as well, in the build-up to this.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think that's the whole thing with us, at the BBC in particular. We're going to kind of hitting these issues head-on. We will be talking about them. I know, you know, during the show for tonight's game, there'll be large conversations going on about whether it was even right to hold the World Cup here in the first place. And we've all got our opinions, and I think that is it's going to be key that we tell the story and tell the true story about how individually all of us feel.
And how challenging has it been for the players and obviously the likes of Gareth Southgate and Rob Page as well, the England and Wales managers, because it's not easy for them. You know, they obviously want to focus on the football, and they're having to field questions as well about some of the issues.
Yeah, they do. But what I love about a lot of kind of modern footballers, and in particular the England team and Wales with Page, is they're asking their players to take responsibility. So I remember kind of during the Euros when they had the whole kind of like taking the knee and how that was going to go about, and there was booing from fans, and Gareth had a way of kind of like wording things with the players and getting that messaging across. And I think he's not a manager that shies away from the responsibility of taking on those bigger conversations, and I don't think the players are either. It kind of goes hand in hand with who they are as players, who they are as a team, and I think that's why a lot of us kind of grow to love them.
And have you been impressed with that, the willingness of the players and the managers to actually deal with some of those issues and talk about them?
I understand it all. I understand that kind of respect that I have, that they've had that willingness to be open and talk about it, but I also understand the frustrations at times when the questions just keep coming about the issues out here and you're not talking about football anymore. And I think from a manager's point of view, you know, Gareth's got to prepare a team and a squad to go all the way in this competition in his mind, and he's got to get them mentally into that place without having to sit down and almost educate them, take them through a bit like a class lesson at times on human rights issues and all the challenges that we're facing out here. They're footballers at the end of the day, and they want to go out there and perform, but at the same time they do want to kind of bear some of that responsibility and challenge some of those issues out here, which I think is brilliant.
And what do you make of England and Wales' chances, of course, because we don't have long to wait to see them both. They're in action tomorrow.
Look, it's going to be a lot tougher than people think. That opening game is always a tough game. A lot of teams are more in a kind of must not lose mentality rather than let's go out there and play freely. And I think a lot of England fans might be thinking, oh, we'll go and walk all over Iran. It's not going to be the case. Carlos Queiroz and his side are very pragmatic. It's going to be they'll be sat in, making life difficult. It's going to be hot. So the challenge is going to be on those England players and Gareth Southgate to go and break them down. But I do believe they've got the quality to go, come out of this group with ease. It's just what happens after that point, really. And from Wales' point of view, I do have some concerns. I'm not going to lie. I think a lot is resting on Gareth Bale. I would like to see some of those younger players like Dan James and Brennan Johnson really come to the fore and take some of the pressure off those players. Let's be honest. They're 4 years older than they were when they performed, from the Euros, basically, when they had that amazing tournament. And can they produce those type of performances game in, game out again? I'm not so sure.
And who are you most excited about seeing? Who should be, who will you be looking out for at this tournament?
Well, from our own point of view, I can't wait to see Jude Bellingham. Just how he handles that kind of responsibility on the biggest stage. Players like Jamal Musiala as well in that Germany shirt. I think he's a player that I'm really looking forward to. Pedri, Spain. I look at that midfield of Spain, and I'm still thinking how we're going to get the ball off them. I mean, they are so good at it. I think the Messi-Ronaldo story. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest.
Could be their last, or likely to be their last World Cup.
It's on everyone's mind. Yeah. It's on everyone's mind that one of them you'd like to see lift this trophy. So we'll see how it pans out.
And just tell us, how special is it? How special is it to compete at a World Cup?
Well, it's the biggest moment of any footballer's career. If you can get out here and be part of the elite within your country, to come and represent your country, and go out there and test yourself against the best players in the world, that is what you dream of. I grew up on Italia '90 and watching Bobby Robson and Gary Lineker, and all these players go out and do great things in an England shirt, and it inspired a generation. And these players have that ability, to do that tomorrow, and they know that. But it's those dreams that live with you. So when you step out onto that pitch or you're representing your country at a World Cup, there's no better feeling.
And what do you make of the heat? Would you fancy playing in this?
Absolutely not. It's roasting.
Isn't it? Probably a good time to hand back to you guys in the studio. Hopefully air conditioned, I imagine, guys.
Yeah.
John, thanks very much indeed. I think it's a bit hot for anyone running around in that weather, to be honest. Although I could do with losing a few pounds. It might do me a bit of good.
I don't think you need to run around. I think you can just stand there
still.
and just let it sweat off you. Nice.
Absolutely.
It's 8:39.